Hey folks, this is Noble Rambler and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Banished. We're using the MegaMod and this is our town of Noble Landing. And it has been a long time since I have recorded anything. I've been doing a lot of renovating and the roof is finished now and working on mudding and taping and texturing and painting some interior rooms. But I decided to take a break from all that and have some fun and record some videos. And as I was about to start this episode, I found out how long it's been since I have recorded. I went to turn on the timer, which is an app on my Chrome, and found that it had been running the entire time. So 23 days ago was the last episode that I recorded. That was an episode of George. So this is Noble Landing. I've been staring at this map for a while, trying to figure out what to do next, but it's so hard to figure that out when it's covered in snow. Just kind of bland, and everything just kind of blends in, and it's just not all that pretty right now. So I'm going to let the game run, and while we're waiting for spring to get here and all the greens and all the colors to show up and the trees to fill out, so we get a better sense of what the map really looks like, let's talk about where we left this place off. We were building right there, dry goods supplier, because here we go. We're out of feathers, if I remember right. 0 feathers. We were making survival coats with them. It must be this guy. Survival coats, reeds, no feathers. We've got like 6,000 reeds stockpiled, so we're doing fine. In fact, we had so many of them that we've actually shut down some of the reeds, all these as well. Okay, so we're making far more reeds than we're using right now. Fuel, we could put a bit more into fire bundles though. We could do that. This guy, no, he's running. Okay. You are more survival coats. So for now, we could take you down to 1 and add 1 more round of fire bundles. Get a little more of the home fuel going in. Work. We're good there. Iron reserve is low, down to less than 100. That's not good. How are we doing otherwise? Let's bring this up. So we're sitting at 220 some citizens. Families and homes are about even, and I've pulled this down here. We've got 4, 8, 9 houses that we're rebuilding, 1 that we're adding. So these guys, I assume that they exist already in this group. That 74 homes includes the 9 that are being torn down, because they are still actually there right now. So actually, when we rebuild these, we'll still have the same number of families to go right back into them. So all of these families that are no longer in these homes, I assume that they're sitting over here in this town lodging right there. So I think house-wise we're in good shape, proportionately. 29 kids in school, 45 kids to take their place. What was our school capacity? We've got somebody here, 20, and he's maxed, and we've got a school over here. Farmers College goes up to something like 60, maybe 80. I'm remembering 60. It's been a while since I played this game, so I'm trying to pull all this stuff back into my memory here. We're going to dump off. Okay, let's do that and that. Are we happy now? Now we are. Okay, they're going to get rid of the few feathers we've got. They're going to go get more reeds and start making fire bundles. What are you? Supplier's done. Good. Let's head over to that. Let's continue this for a moment. Production. Food, we're about dead even. Tools, we're about dead even. Fuel is hurting a little bit. We're going to add some to that. We've got a good supply of fuel here now, but these dock homes are all being emptied, including their fuel out of them, which is probably being added to the totals for the town. So once we rebuild and they restock, we'll probably see that take a real heavy hit, go back down again. So the 1 more fire bundles is a good idea. Log, stone, and iron, I never really pay much attention to these. I mean, 1 good season of road building, turning them to stone, and these numbers mean nothing. So I really don't know if we're truly lacking in stone or if we just used a whole bunch recently. So I usually ignore those. When we run out over here, I know we have a problem. Inventory, what do we have the most of right now? I'm guessing it's rice. Yeah, rice. We got rice coming out the nose right now. Reeds are because we don't have any feathers, which as we start to buy more, I think we decided to do this. In fact, I'm going to pause the game. I need to get something in there before someone actually shows up. Decided to do this because I didn't want to spend more ground, more real estate on chickens beyond this. We could go in with the chicken breeders for the docks, but they're not as efficient for feathers. Not even close. It takes several of those to make the equivalent of one footprint of a good pasture. So it's different with the wool. The wool outpaces from the wool pens, but actually, I take that back. The chicken breeders don't. The docks. I don't know about the chicken. Where is that food? These guys. That might be worth an experiment. We know what these are doing. We're nearby. Here. Been a while. There they are. These guys are chickens right in here. I don't know how to compare to one of these. Let's pop one of these in nearby. How best? That's a pathway. That pathway should be brought straight out. Let's do that first, before that's no longer possible. Stone to it. I still need to fix this over here. Stone to that, or bring wood out. I know the wood road doesn't quite match. I see we could drop down into a staircase here. Okay, we'll use the stone. No, we'll use a dirt path. I think so. It's not necessary. This is like the highway, and this is like a little residential road here. Need to be a little bit of a distinction between them. Let's go in with a dirt road. I can only get so far. We'll do that. Let's try and level this guy up one space. Okay, delete that. No, just that. And now I'll go back to the dirt road. Okay, I like that better. Oh, that's actually quite a change in elevation there. Huh. Okay, then in that case, since I messed that up, let's delete this guy, which I think is an immediate delete. Yep. And let's go in with a dock section that's just one section wide. Rotate him around. That should blend right into the road. Okay, so with that going, that pathway goes in there. Let's get a chicken food, domestic, chicken. Eggs and occasional feathers. That's what I thought. I don't think it's still going to do near the job of an actual pasture. We'll find out. That one, let's just toss over here to keep track of them. And otherwise, let's get over here. Now, let's go over there first. I like to see what I'm doing. Even though I can do the whole thing from the chart here, it just feels better. And I tossed this guy. Let's get him back. Where did you go? Right there. So let's put him there, him there. What do we put into here? I'm going to leave the game paused for a little bit, because I know I'm going to have a trader here real soon, but lots of things to jog my memory about. I'm just noticing all the red X's. We are switching this forest node over to a hardwood forest node, which is there. There. Okay. So hardwood forester's going in because we have got in a hardwood fancy furniture joiner over here that was just using the hardwood that came in through the merchants, but decided to go ahead and turn this into a full-fledged industry. So we may as well stock this guy with hardwood or fancy furniture. Move you over. Town arrival, dry goods supplier, fancy. There you are. What kind of quantities do we have right now? 700. All right, we're good. Let's put in 250 of that one. What else do we have lots of that is not a basic requirement for something else? Sorghum is going into whiskey, or it wasn't whiskey. What was it? I'm not moving. Oh, I gotta click away. There we go. Let's see. Here you are. The distillery is making Banished. I'm gonna go with Banished. It starts with a B. We'll go with that name. Where are you? Have we made any yet? Maybe we have not. Am I just not seeing it? I'm not seeing it. So I'm assuming we haven't made it yet. I think we just got glassware up and going again. Yeah, BAI. Ah, BAI. Let's try that again. No, it won't go up. That is it. BAI. It's not on the chart yet. Okay, so that one eventually, but we're making lots of wine with all of our rice. 25. Never mind. Where's all of our wine? I'm sure we moved 1,000 into various traders. We've got 4 wine distilleries here, rice wine stills. So we've got the potential. We have spirits. Where do the spirits come from? Wine and spirits. Spirits. I mean, that's what I would expect to come out of here. Are they all called spirits? Oh, I'll bet you it makes only spirits, even though we have all these other names. They're probably all called spirits. So basically, we're making moonshine. All right, let's try that again. I lost you. Go over there. What do we have in the way of spirits? There they are. Okay, spirits. Right there. We'll do 250 of that as well. And wine will do 250 of that. Now, am I limiting myself to too much? Some traders or merchants will only take, we'll call it the raw goods. Some will only take the production, or what the raw goods produce. So the different variety of what they will take. That's why I like to have a good variety in my trader. So what do we actually have now? We have 3 things: furniture and a couple of boozes. So what else can we put in there that is of a very different category? Tools would be one, but I'm not going to let loose of any tools. The clothing would be cloth down coats. There's a good one. So let's go with cloth down coats. Let's see. And they're worth quite a bit too. There you are. Not a lot of them. We'll do 100. And some survival coats. We still have a few. We have a few. Get a couple of those in here. Actually, what are we doing though? We're only buying feathers. Theoretically. Don't know what else is going to come in that will suddenly seem like a really good idea, but at the moment the goal is feathers. Let's not do the survival coats. But what is something that's more of a raw material? Something that is out of the, very different from these guys. In case they're not going to take any of these, what would they take instead? I don't want to do food. Although rice would be just a good backup plan. We've got so much of it. Let's do that. Let's just put 1,000 rice in there and plan on never using it. Okay. So I think we've got a decent variety in here now. Yeah, we'll take care of that. Alright, so you are done. No, you're not. Go back to you. There. Take you down to... What are we doing typically in these? When you go from different maps, you really kind of lose track. 1 of 2. So we're doing 2 in each. 2, and this guy over here is 2. Alright. So you take you down to 2 and add 2. Alright. It's a small map, so they don't have a long distance to travel. So it's not necessary to keep these guys maxed out. Alright, so now that's settled, we can get the game running again. So we've got all these dock homes, or dock shanties and homes, I see, that we're going to upgrade. seems like I ended last episode with calling this the Great Dock House Upgrade of 44. So that's what our 6 builders are going to be trying to accomplish this time. I could just speed it up and let them do their thing and be done, but there's always things to do while you're waiting. This right over here has been bugging me. The reeds look great. I don't think I can make reeds pop out of the water, though. That's left over from when there used to be land here. I'm pretty sure. I don't think the land pops up in that spot then back down again. Is there anything ghost that could sit on water and not look really weird? I thought there was a ship. So, not like the... You know, if a ship was just kind of sitting there, it would hide some things. But it would look odd for the trader to come floating through all that. Boy, I moved just a touch and it goes a long way. Real sensitive right there. Oh, because the ground is sloped downward, so the slightest movement actually moves an entire square because the square is way down underneath, almost vertical. That's why. So I could park a bunch of these in here and it'd look kind of funny. I did send a note to Crawljerg to see if it was possible to create some kind of a water tile to put over these. That would be the best solution. Because this guy right here, the pond, it's not a perfect match, but it's a lot better than that. Blue. You know, so if we had a water tile, you know, some kind of a, you know, maybe a couple of different shades of blue, you can kind of pick them. But best if it was possible to do something that's reflective, because the water color changes depending on how your map is turned. You got your sky reflecting on it. You got the sun shining down on there. So if there was any way to put a reflective tile in there to reflect the ceiling or the sky, that would be the ultimate answer. But we'll see if it's possible to get some kind of a light blue that can be popped into those spaces. But over in here, we wanted to put in a dock trader, because I've never used one before, and it was interesting to see if we could get them to actually come into a lake that was never intended for a trader. I've seen them go up rivers before. You can put a trader right over here, and they will track up that river and go to the trader, and then try to turn around and come back through here again. But that was something I just wanted to experiment with. Dock home went in. The homes are gonna be filled up here at the beginning with with couples that have been kicked out. So we're not really going to be getting any young couples for a while, unfortunately. But we've got 41 kids. Yeah, we're doing fine proportionately. We can take this little hit here and not worry about it. And we do have the, over here in what's going to become the city area, we do have the town hall. So we do have the potential of nomads coming in if we want them. Though a map this small and with food sources very limited as far as real estate, you don't want to be accepting lots and lots of nomads. That's just a death knell for the game. Let's do this real quick. That has been bugging me for the longest time. What do we got here? We got road here, and we've got tile there. Let's go in with the road tiles that do not have the fading out on the edges, so it kind of blends in. Though it does make for a rather harsh corner, because these don't fade at all, so they don't blend the rest of the road. You end up having to do the entire thing to ever get to where it actually matches. And it doesn't look as realistic to me. I kind of like the fade off. I mean, normally you get weeds that would grow into the edges and whatnot, so you never see a perfectly straight line naturally. Where would that be? Ghost? No, it would not be ghost. It would be near the ghost, though. You? No, let's build your own canal. Road tiles. Are they actually with the... No. Gotta think about that. Where are the road tiles? Stone road. What are you? Is that it? Now this is key, I want to say. Oh, okay, key. So I'm actually looking for themes, aren't I? Is that... Oh, it's been a while. There. that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. No, it's not. We actually have to have ghost. That's right. There. Ghost. So you're in here somewhere. There you are. Ground squares. Aha! There you are. What do we think? Do we go any further? Oh, we've got a bunch of traders. Okay. We'll call that done. Traders. What do we got? Including our new one. Every trader's full. Wow. Okay, we'll go over here. What'd you bring us? So dry goods. Interesting. Tobacco leaf is a dry good. I think of dry goods. Well, okay. I guess it's the raw materials as well as. So now I think of materials as the raw materials and dry goods as the product in my mind. But like the copperware and the pewterware would be the dry good versus the copper and what have you. All the ores would be the material. But it does classify like cotton and those sort of things, you know, which are really raw goods, as dry goods as well. So it's a mix. So there's our feathers. That was the goal right there. 1,000 feathers. What else? That's 1,000. Do we actually have anything in? We have 1,000 rice. Okay, so we do have enough in here to do that. Tobacco, feathers, books. Books. I don't know anything about books. They're worth 400 each. Wow. Okay, I have to learn about that one. I assume that there must be a library or something along those lines that I have not discovered yet. Barrels. Don't see anything else that we actually need. I don't want to... That's right. The trade animals are considered a dry good. Huh. Because they're not food. They're not really material. I mean, if you go through all the categories, they really don't fit anything else. That's why it's kind of odd, but this is the most logical category for them to go into. Well, we're just going to go for the feathers right now. Feathers. How do we do that? 100 of these. There it is. Trade and dismiss. You are seeds. And unfortunately, I have been away too long from this map to even have any sense of what I'm needing. So I'm going to dismiss you for now. Delayed the hauler. Bronze. I'll grab all the ores that I can find. I don't think I'm going to get any more of the hardwood for a while. Clay and sand. How are we doing there? Seems like I've got a memory of having stocked up last time on those two and we were in good shape. Sand of 15. Let's go back to by name. Clay. There you are, 25. Okay, we're fine on those. Charcoal, let's see. We're still sitting good on all of these. Iron is where we're hurting right now. We're going to have to address that. Tools, they're good. Clothes are fine. Don't need any hull components. Not building any more shipyard sort of things. Glass, we should be fine. Glassware, we're making again. I'm not seeing any ores. I think we're going to call this one done. One more over here. One of these guys got here a long time ago. That's why I'm paused. I don't know which one is about to leave. You are food. We're actually fine on food. How are we doing? Have we changed? Have we updated? Food, we're... Whoa. I take it, well, the harvest came in. See, we are, when you're heavily, let's see, graphs, dependent upon, well, actually, that is a lot more level than I was thinking. If you go to 1 year, well, that is a lot more flatline. I expected a lot more of this. Why are we so level? I mean, we do have quite a few gatherers. We have a lot of fish. We have a lot of rice. That's year-round, and that's a huge proportion of our food. And that's what's holding us flatlined. Okay. When you're heavily dependent upon crops, then you get the very cyclical pattern. which gives you the unpredictable 26,000, suddenly jumps to 35,000, then goes back down to 18,000, and you never really know whether you're doing good or bad on food. But that was a surprise. So something just came in that apparently we had set in motion, and it finally paid off. And now we are making way more food than we're going to be using. Okay, we can handle some nomads. So I'm not going to buy food unless I find something here. Where am I? There. That is beneficial, like sorghum. Sorghum is going to be turned into spirits. So we'll go ahead and do that. Anything else that we're making something out of? Not using canola, not using hops. We could, but we're not. Kernels, we're not. We're taking, save you. You right there? No. There you are. Lamp oil from blubber is what we're doing, and we're out of blubber. So if we come across blubber, that's the sort of thing we want to be buying. But I'm not seeing anything here that we really need. So we'll call that one good. 2,000. And here we can do our 1,000 wine. There's our wine. Spirits came in over here. Fancy furniture. 30 goes into that 33 times. Something like that. What do we got for 10? One spirit. Oh, 2,000. Yeah, okay. Little brain fart there. Make that a 66. And 2. That works. Alright, so trade you, dismiss, game running, and they're all taken care of. The dock homes are being demolished, and I don't think I really need to go in and reprioritize them. There's not much else going on. Go through this real quick. School came in. This area, good. And the dock to get to the school did not come in. That is odd. Let's put a priority there before anybody dies. There you are. Right. Boy, it's deceptive. There you are. And that just got built. Okay. Now we've got our school. Let's put in a teacher. Right there. We should leave that in the corner. See how many people in this area needed a school this close. Though it shouldn't fill up in the same way that a temple or a church would. No, not a temple, a shrine they call them. So when that fills, that'll autofill once that builds. But the school, we've got to wait for another child to be born in the area because they're already going to school in other places. But we did build a little bit of a community over here, community services. We've got the market and the church and the school. We've got the stills. Those are all the basic community services that are needed. Storage. What else is needed in the dock system? There. That just moved. Okay. The herbs were some of the other ones. Herbs. And the traders. Markets. The trader. Okay. So we want to put the trader in, and we want to make sure we've got a little community out over here. We did go in with the school. That's a home. So and the temple's over here. Shrine. So we've got those guys going. And I see that little building there. Temple comes to my mind instead of shrine. I think of a shrine as more like the little stone display with a like a figure of Mary in it or something, and lots of candles. I don't think of a building. They're calling it a shrine. And we had rearranged this, built it, tore it down, because I wanted the school to be used as part of the pathway. That's right. Should have turned this around to face into that. That would have made more sense. Yeah, afterthoughts. But we do need to get a market in here. We're still up? We are. And a small one would have been enough for this area. So let's think about this. Here where I can see the connection. You're right there. Is there any reason to do this in a different place? How do we get into this area? Come through like this. Or we come... Actually, if you watch these guys, they're probably going to be taking this pathway the most. The boats snip right through here, almost clipping through all this. Then they pull out and they go like that. And then when I was experimenting off camera with a dock trader over here, seems like they've continued their path, and then the last second they hook a 90-degree turn there and come right on through. So this may be available to build in, but I'm going to wait until we're actually using it to be certain. So let's use this space over here. That's probably the safest place to use. This guy right there. And let's go closest to that path there. Probably the route they're going to be taking. Small Dark Market. Water Shrine is this one. Don't need him showing. That one did pop in though. Let's go over there. Okay, and we turn him on, and we can't. Out of laborers. Diet of old age was replaced, so we haven't lost any jobs. Was replaced. Okay. So we need laborers. We need nomads. Alright, let's put in this guy, and we've immediately got... Well, we're running slow, so apparently there is no immediate right now. Eventually that's going to pop in. So you can go away. You can take its place. Hardwood Forester went in. Let's go over there. That's this guy. Okay. He's sharing the other foresters. So we have 2 foresters down here. This guy. No, he's not. What am I seeing here? 2 of 4 of 7. Oh, okay. He's capable of 4. 2 of them moved over. Let's just use 1 for right now till we get other people to take the places of the other guys. And he is a material. Hardwood is not a wood. It is a material. So we're going to need not a wood storage, but a material storage over here. So that would be there. These guys. Material. Best place? I think so. And a pathway that takes us into this area. So, in a house, we do have a house there, log cabin. Just one? What are you? You're a tree. We're going to have 2 people working here. And that's really it. Let's think about that. If it was a dense forester, then there'd be no reason to have gatherers and hunters out here. But it is a hardwood forester, which does leave space for other plantings to be brought in. So, or to grow. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have those other ones here. At the moment, this isn't going to be cut down. So this is a natural growth over here for more food, animals, herbs to be found. So the little mini hunter and the little mini gatherer wouldn't be a bad idea in here. In which case I'm going to need more housing. Those will all be 1 each. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is probably the most we're going to see in this area for a while. So 1 more house. And I like the log cabin out in the woods. It just makes sense. So a house over here. Log cabin looks like this. Where to? Let's take him out of the path. Go back over here somewhere. Let's road with the country road. Does he really end right there? No, he doesn't. He ends right... kind of right there. Okay. So somewhere in that area, like that, pull down the shift, head over to that cabin right there. Do something like that. And we need to get this dock into there. Question is, do we want to... Nah, we'll just make a straight run. Though we've got a lot of things queued up. Let's go just to there. A lot of things queued up in here. Because it's hardwood, I usually cut down all of the other trees so that only the hardwood trees can be replanted and just gets the hardwood up and running that much faster. So that one was right there. Let's take maybe that on a diagonal. No, I'm just going to wait then. It won't build through this tree which is already queued up. So I'll just wait, get that done. Okay, that's running. So what else has been sitting out here? That one, I'll get rid of it. We need to remember though to get back and add more foresters in. One of these days when nomads come in, I'll probably go back through and go through all the different buildings and get everybody up and running. We don't have extra people. that need to go to church. Interesting. I would have thought that the game would relocate where these houses attend church. That they would kind of shuffle it around and go to the closest one, including the schools. That the kids from this area would stop walking all the way out to here. Well, it looks like they're walking all the way out to here to go to school. I think that it would send them to the closest one. Apparently not. So I don't need to see that anymore. Dock market, that's what we just put in. The egg pen is being built. He would need domesticated animals. I never thought about that. We're not making domesticated animals. We're not, because we don't have oats, corn, or I want to say barley. We don't have them. Okay, so that pauses. Can't do anything with that. Actually, I didn't mean to turn it off. Yeah, I did mean to turn it off. We'll just leave it sit there. Okay, traders are all popping in. Let's see what they've got for us. You are building materials. Do you have iron? You do have iron. Let's go ahead and do 200 of those. And we still need to figure out why we're not making enough. But for now, let's get a band-aid. Coke fuel. That's not something we're playing with. I don't want to confuse me later as to where the heck the coke fuel came from. So let's not do that. Hardwood. We should have plenty. Inventory. 3,000. Yeah, we're fine there. And the game is still small enough that I can leave the town hall sort of menus here, and it's not harming us. In George, it was actually crashing my computer. There were several episodes there where I would get 20 minutes in and everything would just freeze. The screen would go white and there wouldn't be a thing I could do. Yeah, start over the episode again. So this guy is evil in the George map. Okay, so I did turn that off, didn't I? Let's pause. 200. Tools, tiles, coke fuel, hardwood, that's where I was. Sand, charcoal is fine. We're doing good on fuels now. Yeah, we're good. So, and gold ore, no. I'll make my own. So, we're looking for 1,000. Easy way to do 1,000 is what? 20 furniture. Let's see, wine did not rebuild itself, so we are out of wine. Spirits, we've still got some fancy furniture. Let's go that route. 1,000 this time, so we'll do the same thing as we did last time. 33 and 1. That works fine. Trade and dismiss you. You are a farm supplier and more seeds. Dismiss you. I don't know how fast we're going to go through those feathers. Do I need to buy them every time? I wasn't going to get into the trade animals. To me, they feel, I don't know, a little too easy to use to make something to trade. But one of these days I need to do it just in case you're wondering how it works, just to get one up and running so you can see it. I won't this time, though. What do we have here? Pigs, reeds, wool. No, there's nothing here that we need, so we'll do that. And you did not. Okay, so we're up and going there. Almost all these houses are torn down. These are the last two I queued up, so they're the last two to be done. Dock market is small market still being worked on. So we'll do that and we'll do that. Okay, so catch up time. What projects have been waiting? This trader, something that I want to do. I was just wondering, just an odd question. I've not been paying attention to this though. Has replaced. Yeah, we are gonna be hurting here real soon. In fact, let's really think about that. What can we... Well, okay, let me finish my other sentence first. You can take a road and make a diagonal with it. What does that look like with a... Oh, I see. That's why the diagonal road here. But you can't see it to know what diagonal it's on. I was going to say, what does it look like to make a diagonal with a wooden road? Oh well. Don't need wood road. I just thought about continuing that, and would it look weird to have that kind of diagonal through with the wood patterns probably rotating 90 degrees every single time? How odd would that look? But a dock trader deeper in, dock out to here, and then a diagonal road connecting them is where I was going when all that happened. When all of that happened. We need to pull out some labor somewhere. Dock workers. Yeah. I'm thinking miners, but there aren't that many miners. 2. Can't do anything with that. Let's do it this way. Let's kind of roam the map. Where do I steal like 2 people? Probably right here. Now we're overflowing in rice. That's probably the most logical place to do it. That didn't work. Okay. It is hard to tell where I'm at. There we go. 27. Okay, there's 3 more workers. That gets me back a couple of builders. Alright, we'll do that. Anyway, back over here. I don't really need another trader. I've never built the dock trader before and I've never tried to force them onto a lake before to see if the game will recalculate it. So that was kind of an experiment that I wanted to do with this map. Dock. Trader. Alright, he connects. Just that one spot on the right. And then that's out on the water. Well, if I'm going to commit to not going into this lake, I mean, this would look more like a more natural trader like the other ones. But the idea is that the whole thing can be out in the water, so I think I want to maintain that. But I want enough room to make it look natural that they'll come in alongside and then make a turn and leave. So I don't want it out here. It's too close. I want it back in here somewhere. Or even over here so it comes in and docks this way and then comes back out. That could work too. Though that's much further away. But we do have this road. I'm thinking of getting supplies to it. They're either going to get supplies to it up this road here, which means we need to go through with a, like the mossy stone road to increase the travel speed. That could work. Or else they're going to be taking these routes to get in to try to stock it. Which is just as awkward. What have you got? You've got seeds, dismiss you. Alright, we'll go over here with this guy. But then it doesn't look like it's really part of the dock system. I mean, really, it needs to be right here with these guys. Or over here. If we're going to put it over here, I may as well just build it on land. Takes away the appeal. So let's build them about there and add some more houses to that back end. That could work. Let's go in one more space. Alright. And we need a dock that runs out the backside into the land, but do I just put in a bridge? A dock bridge. And clip the whole thing right, parallel and up against the trader. I think I like that better. How do I find them again? See, I can't. With a dock, I can go here and say, okay, there's red, there's green, there it is. But I can't do that with the bridge. It'll be red the entire time. So if I were to take this over to here, then I can use that as a starting point and pause it so they won't try to build that for the road. Then I'll know where it is. So, dock road, bridge, dock bridge. Where did I put that dock? Oh, that's hard to see. That's not it. Really? It's not going to show up as a problem? And all this is red. It's okay. How do we do this? How do we do this? Well, we could do it this way. Let's pick that deer. From that deer over, where we have something blocking us. Okay. Let's go to this deer over. No good. No. Ah. Okay, let's verify that. That spot works. That spot doesn't. Okay, so 2 spaces over from the deer. There's our bridge. You just take the 3rd right past the deer with the broken antler, and it'll be over there on the left. Okay, bridge. Hello. Oh, I hate when I click in here and can't get it. There you are. You're there. You are there. Okay, last of the dock shanties being torn down. They've been there for a long time. What have our builders been doing instead? We did tell them to build some roads. And I don't know if that's a road or a blueprint. It's snowing. I told them to build a road over here. This probably never got set. It didn't. Okay, let's do it this way. There. Builders are doing what right now? 15 jobs. Okay, these 2 dock shanties being torn down. We have a dock residence over here. Oh, we're okay. These are basically what we're rebuilding. So let's go through and grab all of those. And the laborers at least have been working on that. The builders still are not. Are the builders 2, 4? 4 builders are assigned to those. Okay. Dock residence. We'll just stack these guys for next time so we remember what we're up to. What are you? You are the market. Okay. Egg pen. Don't need to see that. It's going to be a long... Oh, domesticated animals. Oh, okay, we need to buy them. Let's remember that. That's the last thing that's going to be on my mind. Now that we can make our own, I haven't even thought about buying them in a long time. Material warehouse. That didn't get placed. Where would that go? Kind of over here with the log cabin. They're together. And that. So we've run... Oh. That's right. Let's get rid of you. Okay. You're done. And dock residence. Okay, add you to the pile. And we're back to these. Okay then. So that's for next time. Minimize you. Trader coming in. What else needs to be done? I mean, what is the future of Noble Landing? Let's think about this. We've got, again, we're in the snow, so waited too long to really take a look at the map. We have a forest node over here, another one over here, but we still have a good chunk of land down in here. Got to figure out what happens, what goes down here. I don't know. I'm really kind of drawing a blank on that one. Cross the bridge to what was going to be kind of the bigger city area, which may or may not really work out. I mean, I'm thinking this mountainside would be a great place to put a bunch of gold mines, placer mines, and get the minting going, the silver at least, well, silver and gold, to use for things like this guy here, our logging barge, which requires silver. And there's maybe a smuggler's, a trader to use the gold. So crop fields and what have you as a buffer in between these angry red circles, so we're not going to be building any housing beyond probably a line like right here. So the city here could sprawl downward. We do have a lot of land down south of the city too. So we have this area down here, not a whole lot in between. We have this area down here below the forest nodes. And then up north of town, kind of a small little corner here. I'm not sure what could be the major focus of that one. This is our hardwood forest node, and we have a small little corner up here. It's a small map, so got to figure out what goes in there, what logically goes in there. What would you expand to do? Domesticated animals. Who would sell something like that? Alright, the iron did get put into the system. We bought 200 and there's 220, so we were close to running out. So over there in that city area is where I would need to put a real iron mine. And probably an iron smelter or a forge and kind of get all that going. Got things happening in the background over here. Bricks, rugs, building supplies. We're making building supplies and homeware. And eventually we'll be making the fancy homewares. We've got the fancy furnitures going. We just need to decide on pewterware or silverware to add to that. Otherwise, any ores hiding in there? I'm not seeing anything. Copper ore. We could do that and store it. Maybe that'll go toward our pewterware at some point. So 250 of those. We'll call this one done. No coal. Just charcoal. I don't know what our coal inventory looks like right now, but they don't have it to sell. 500. How do we do 500? 10s go in, 30s go in. Kind of. Let's see. No, they don't go in. I'm thinking of something else. 500. Died of old age. One laborer left. Survival coats. Could go that route. Wine has never caught up. Let's go with spirits. And 50 of those. Do that. Okay, trade and dismiss you. So we get these traders done, we'll call this one done. Don't need seeds. You would probably have the domesticated animals. I would imagine that is considered a dry good. Silver pfennigs. We could buy some and get the logging going. You know, let's do that. They're cheap. Pearl. Llama. Don't need barrels or crates. Tin ware. Alright, we'll call that done. So we need 100. So 5 of these guys. And trade and dismiss. Though I can't really turn this on because I'm really hurting on labor. So, darn. We'll leave that up there just as a reminder to take another look at it. Was there one more trader? No. Alright, so we've got a younger couple that came into this house. And an older couple hit that one. And I think we're done. Done enough for now. Yeah, I think so. Started in the winter, ending in the winter. Right at winter, too. In fact, almost exactly 1 year. A year an episode, huh? Something like that. We're running at, what, speed 2? Yeah. So maybe next time we'll kick the speed up a little bit. Got a lot of stuff queued up and not a lot to do now. We're really just waiting. So with that, we're going to call this one done. Hit the pause there, and thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and the thumbs up always helps. Helps us to kind of get up a little higher in the YouTube search engines. And I thank you guys for watching. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.